Alright guys, you are listening to Overshot, a paintball podcast. Before I get started with everything I gotta tell you guys, the first thing I gotta reach out is we were at the Woodsball World Cup for these episodes. As you can see, I'm not there anymore. I am back in my house. But this episode was recorded live on site at the Woodsball World Cup. It was a fantastic event. There's going to be a bunch of content we have coming out from there for you guys, and I can't wait to share it with you. But the one thing I do unfortunately have to let you know is that with us being live on site, there is a ton of background noise. There's a quad going back and forth. People are yelling and shouting at our guests while we're trying to interview them. And those are just things that I can't do anything about, unfortunately. They're just there. I think it's part of the episode. I think it's going to give it a little bit of charm. Hopefully you guys agree, and I hope it doesn't bother you too much, but it is what it is. Those things are going to stay in there. There's not a whole lot I could do about it. So just bear with us as those things happen. Now, you know what time it is. Time for me to tell you about Darkside Sports, man. Darkside Sports are makers of the SF joggers and the Grind Air gloves, as well as your custom jersey and apparel needs, man. They're truly the best. They have been helping out this podcast out since pretty much day one, so we really love them. I mean, their things are great. All their products are fantastic. Their t-shirts, their soft goods, you know, we all rock all their shit. Overshot rocks all their stuff, and just really fantastic products, as well as all their great products. They have pro teams signing on with them now, so they have Seattle Thunder stuff, as well as Patty Gleason stuff. He has a jersey coming out now that is literally straight fire, dude, straight fire. So to check them out, you go to DarksideSports.com and use code Overshot when you'll check out, and you'll get 10% off all the things you buy. Like I said, the website is DarksideSports.com, and the code is Overshot. And the other company I have to tell you about is Volcano USA, man. They make the best bags on the planet, dude, and probably the moon as well. I'm not sure yet. I don't have any reviews from them from the moon, but their gear bags are the best. They're not too big, they're not too small, hold all your stuff, and it fits in cars neatly. That's what I love about it. You know, Waldo and I, we go to events with a bunch of people, typically 4 or 5 people in a car. So having everyone's got a big gear bag, it really sucks, and the Volcano gear bag is perfect for traveling. It really is the best gear bag. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And if you would like to purchase one, you go to volcanousa.com and use code Overshot10 when you check out, and you'll get 10% off your bag and whatever else you buy. And now I just got to give one more shout out to a big friend of mine, Steve Darcy. Steve Darcy took it upon himself that on Sunday, when I had to help out a couple of teams and play with them because some of their players didn't show up that day, he went around as an Inception's Design jersey behind me, signed by some real legends in the game. Bud Orr, Dave Arnold, Kevin Donaldson, Simon Stevens. There's just so many names on that shirt. And when I was playing, he went and got that done for me. He's the real homie. So big shout out to him and the GZ Red family. There's going to be an episode coming out with them shortly about how they did at the Woodsball World Cup. But I just wanted to give him a big shout out because I really appreciate that he did that for me. You know, he's just a homie, dude. And now we're going to get into the episode with Dave Painter. You know, the man needs no introduction, especially if you're from the Northeast. You know who Dave Painter is. We get into his whole story and everything in the episode. So I hope you guys enjoy this one, man. If you do like it, please share it. It would really help out the show. And I'll see you guys in the episode, man. Take it easy, guys. All right, guys, we are back again, this time with Dave Painter. Dude, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, no problem. Absolutely pleasure to be here.
Awesome, dude. So, again, we're at the Woodsball World Cup, a fantastic event. What are your first impressions of the event?
They've obviously done a ton of work on the fields. Nothing like what it used to be, right? They've cleared out a lot of the brush, not a lot of tripping hazards, things like that. The whole parking lot area has been bulldozed in, filled in, a lot of staging. Haven't been over to the other field yet, but
checking it out tomorrow.
We'll walk that later this afternoon and see how that is. But Ponderosa's, it's a tough field to play.
It really is. You know, like
they've done a lot of work.
I got to, you know, I'm local, so I helped them play on this, get it ready for it. And I thought the same thing. I'm playing it, I'm going, I think there's going to be a lot of stalemates, man. I think it's going to be tough.
Yeah, you lose them in the ravine if you're on the high side.
Yep.
If you're on the low side, you know, it's a little hard to get them out of their bunkers because no one's going to stand up tall. And,
right.
You know, there's trouble on both sides.
Right, but I kind of like that. We were talking to somebody else, but, like, I kind of like that the field's difficult to figure out, you know? I think it's a shitty field when it's like there's one dominant bunker and it's like, we're going to get there first.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, this is definitely, you know, back to that kind of old school, you got to use your brain paintball a little bit.
And you can definitely play, you know, both ends of the field. You can definitely play all three sides, right? So both tape lines and the middle.
Right.
So you really can have opportunity everywhere, on both ends and all over the field. So just a matter of which team picks what side, whether you pick the right side and the other teams, you play a little ring around the rosy or whatever.
Right.
So.
Right. So how did your games break down so far? How many have you had?
We played 2 games. We played Ghost, which I think is a team out of like the Syracuse area.
Yeah, they're from New York.
So upstate New York, and we ended up drawing those. It was a draw on the field. I think, relatively speaking, technically we won 3-1 bodies, but
everyone we've asked, that's what it's been like.
Yeah, I mean, nobody got past the 50. We stabbed one guy out right at the end, but that was about it, right? With like 10 seconds left.
Yeah.
And then we just played the Misfits to a draw. They won 8-7 bodies.
Yeah. So
bodies up. But
that was a tough one, huh?
Yeah. So we both had good position, and then at about a minute and a half left, we could hear their call. They were calling for story time, so they were willing just to take
your time.
Well, they basically just settled, take the draw, take the points for whatever bodies are out there, and move on to the next game.
Right. They gotta think of a better code because that was pretty easy to figure out.
Exactly. They're like, okay.
That's so funny. So, who's your guys' next game against? If you know.
Ape.
Okay,
yeah, so we're back on this field again, wait for the coin toss. Right now we've played the high side both times.
Okay.
We've won the coin toss both times, but we didn't win any games, so maybe we'll try the low side. I don't know. I mean, we've never played this field as a team, and only a couple of us has ever played the field in general, and obviously not as it's been
changing.
reworked.
Honestly, the way it is right now, probably no one's played it except for the Blasters, maybe.
Exactly, right. So, at some point, either we lose the coin toss or we purposely pick the low side and see how that goes, right? I mean, like I said before, you can definitely win from the low side.
Right.
Just right now, our guys prefer gravity.
Gravity can be your friend, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. So I really want to dig into like your past a little bit because I mean we're lucky enough to have you and join us. I know you said you got a little bit, so you've been playing this game for a long time. I'm really curious to know, how did it find you?
Yeah, great story. So I just moved into my house in Massachusetts, and I got a U-Haul in the driveway. My wife is, 8 months pregnant or something like that. I got boxes, and my neighbors are all piling into a van all dressed in camo. I'm like, hey, Dave, you want to go play paintball? I'm like, yeah, no, yes, no.
And forget to elaborate on our audience's youngins. What year is this?
Yeah, so this is, oh, man.
I'm a youngin' too, I shouldn't even say
Yeah, it's got to be like 97, 96, something like that, yeah. And maybe
I was 9.
Right around that age, right? So I made the right choice. I said no. And it turned out this group of neighbors...
Help the 8-month pregnant wife. Yeah,
exactly.
Good choice.
And so this group of guys from the neighborhood played once a year. So the next summer rolls around, and they all go. And so now I can go, right? It's planned.
Right.
And so they only go once a year. I literally, from that point on, went every other weekend till I bought a field. Yeah, and then I bought a field. Ran a field for the last 19 years. I sold that last year.
Yeah, and again, I know you pretty well, but for people that don't, what was the name of your field?
Yeah, Fox 4 Paintball in Upton, Mass. So I ran, we had about 24, 25 acres of woodsball, and then I ran Fox Ball, X-Ball League for a while.
Fantastic league.
Ran, my oldest son, Eddie, came up through the ranks. His first event anywhere was World Cup in 2003. So he was like 12, 13 years old.
Wow.
We played 5-man. It was great. Had a lot of fun.
It.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to want to buy a field? Was it just like, I eat, sleep, drink, and breathe this stuff?
Yeah,
opportunity came up?
Bottom line is I'm an addict, right? Everybody's addicted to something. I'm addicted to paintball.
Yeah, dude.
Right?
It's hard not to be, right?
I mean, I'll be 57 in June. I'll play as much as I can whenever I can. I travel the country with the boys playing with Darkside, playing 10-man. I was at the nexl playing divisional X-ball a couple weeks ago.
Oh, awesome. How'd that go for you? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, we made playoffs. Lost our first game in playoffs.
What team name?
Played with Gotham City Bullies. Yeah.
Oh, we know those dudes too. Hell yeah, that's fucking what's up.
Yeah, so it was great. We had a great prelim. We went 3-1, and then some unfortunate events happened in our playoff game. We lost 3-2 in our first round playoff game, but finished 9th overall.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of fun.
Good time. Awesome. So, you were talking about your son in the NPPL day. So, what kind of was going on with next with you?
What's going on next?
Well, after 2003, you guys
yeah.
the game.
So
Don't worry, we'll get there, just not yet.
Yeah, okay. All right. I'm like, wow, that's really quick. So then my son started playing on a 3-man team, Camo Killers.
Okay.
And I'm running the field. At that point, I had bought the field, and we were running mostly woodsball, but we had put in a big 10-man field, and it was all dirt or sand, really.
Okay.
So, and it was kind of at an angle. It kind of sucked, but it was all we had.
Yeah, right. That's what you got.
And so they played 3-man with a couple of the other owner's son, Kurt Jansen, his son Sean, and a couple other kids. And then halfway through the season, they bumped up to 5-man. They played 5-man the next year. Halfway through that season, they bumped up to 7-man. We played 7-man for a couple of years, played MPPL. And then we, maybe 3 or 4 of the guys hooked up with some guys from Plattsburgh Negligence in the AXBO or MXL or MSXL, whatever it is.
Whatever they're calling it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. Whatever.
MXL. I think it was MXL. And
MXL is a Mexican league. MSXL, I think.
It used to be old school AXBL and CXBL, and then they had junior leagues or what, the second division.
Yeah, you know more.
Yeah. And then we won. The Plattsburgh Negligence team won the division, and we got a AXBL spot. The owner of Plattsburgh was bailing out, so I bought the spot from him. And then that got us onto the X-Ball track and 187 and
right, dude. So dig into that. You're like the start of the 187 crew. So how did that whole thing kind of come about?
Yeah, so all homegrown kids, right? All kids that played at my field. I value and valued then and still value now picking the right people, not looking for that one pro guy or the one like superstar, right? I'd rather have better attitudes, better mix of, when you're in the pits, nobody's poison, right? And everybody's constructive, and they got paintball smarts in general all around. There's and so I picked kids from the field and we grew them up, and we went and played divisional D2 X-Ball our first year in at the time I think it was a PSP. We won every event.
You guys came out hot.
Yeah, right? So we played 3 events. We played Chicago. We lost our first match to Dallas Stars, I think 5-4, and then we didn't lose another match the rest of the year.
It's crazy that you remember that.
Yeah. And so it was pretty awesome. And then, obviously you win all the D2 matches. You play D1 the next year. We won 2 out of at the time, I think there was only 4 events. We won 2 out of 4 events, got our pro spot. And then first event pro was Galveston Island, I think.
Okay.
And we played the Russians' first match.
Woo! Welcome to the league, boys.
Well, I think we went up 5-0 on them.
Nice.
With 11 minutes remaining, and all of a sudden the guys were
like it gets worse. Hang on.
Oh yeah. All the guys were like, "Hey, we're gonna go to our bunkers and just hold them off." Yeah, this is the best team in the world at the time, and they still are obviously all solid players. And this is when all the Russians played on Russian Legion, right? They didn't get split up amongst a couple teams, and they just came back and picked us apart, and we ended up losing 7-5 or 6-5 or something like that. Yeah, and we didn't score another point.
Welcome to the league. This is what it's like up here, boys.
But it was great, and it took a lot of years to get to where they are now, right? So a couple years ago, I disbanded the team, and they merged with Revo.
Right.
And then Revo now is a top 4 team or top 6 team, however you want to look at it.
Dude, I would say like a top tier team, dude, for sure, man. Dude, those guys, they're always right there, man. They're always right there.
I still got some of my 187 guys playing, so this is good.
Right, exactly. And for dudes that don't know, well, I can't imagine that they don't, who are the original 187 guys that play in Revo now?
So right now we have two original players playing. It's Dan Zaleski and Matt Derula. Last year we also had Max Trailer, my son Eddie, and Josh Pike.
And all those guys are 187 guys.
Yep, all those guys from 187 crew.
Yeah, it's awesome that they continue it. Yeah, I love those teams. I think I expect big things from them, to be honest, as a fan of their team, man.
Yeah, so usually Josh and Eddie are playing the 10-mans with me.
Yeah.
I've been a little busy lately. Henry too, yeah. I've been a little busy lately, so I don't have any of the pro guys with me today. But we're having fun. That's all that matters.
It's not
playing paintball,
having fun.
Yeah.
Cool. So this 10-man resurgence came back. Was that just the big driving factor for you to come back and play that kind of stuff, or Like, what kind of what made you want to get into that?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of dial the conversation back 20 minutes. I'm an addict, right?
Yeah.
And I played NXL, a couple weeks ago, and I'll play 10-man today. I just want to play paintball,
right? We love it.
And this is they're definitely two different styles, right?
Oh yeah.
And this is a little bit more of a thinking game out here. You can afford to play chess and throw some pawns away, right? And get in the right position, right? X-ball, a little different, a little faster.
Yeah.
Make as many mistakes.
Can't make mistakes.
And if you do, you just kind of come back and start again. Right here, when you make a mistake and you lose the match, you don't get you're not playing the second point. Your match is over. You got to wait till the next match against a different team, right?
Right.
So,
that's what I like about it. The decisions are very impactful. Like, one decision can make a big difference on your seeding, your this, your that. And the X-Ball, make a bad decision, we lost that point, but they got another chance next game.
Yep, exactly. So different strategies, but it's so nice, and it's super. Like, we went to the first ICC, when Tim had that, and there was 18 teams out there, and it was like old school week, right? Like, old homecoming week or whatever you want to call it, right? All the guys that you played against, years and years ago were all coming back to play, and I play these events, or just in general play paintball. Like, I try to get one memory out of everything. Like, I hope to have a memory here that I can tell a story about, right? ICC, first ICC. I'm in the back corner. Rich Telford's in the other back corner. He shoots me in the loader. He's just yelling at the ref the whole time. I shot him in the loader, check him. So I'm like, he did shoot me in the loader. I look at my gun, right? I'm like, wipe that off.
Yeah, that's got to go away.
The ref comes running in. I'm like, hey, what's up? Oh, that guy thinks he shot you in the corner, shot you in the loader, but I know he didn't. So I show him, right? I'm clean as can be. And afterwards,
whatever you say, ref.
Afterwards, Rich and I have a good laugh about it. Now, in the end, Rich did shoot me, and he got shot. And then,
thanks. I'm gonna have to edit this out later. No.
In all fairness, right at the end of the match, Rich's shot, but walking the tape line coming off, still got his armband on. End of game, he walks back in, gets counted as a live player, and it's just those kinds of stories that it's like,
baby.
If you can't tell those stories and have fun, it's just that's why I do it. I mean, that's why I do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even playing. I think Frank Cotto might shoot me. I'm scared. Jesus Christ.
Oh, Frank, man.
Yeah. Dude, we love Frank.
I love Frank. Shout out to Dilly.
Shout out to Dilly. I want to give myself some coffee.
Yeah, I played with Frank. So a couple years ago, I played on the USA Masters teams over in Netherlands and
that's like
Amsterdam.
My life goal. Like, I got a couple checklists. Like, dude, I got to get over the pond and play.
Yeah.
Like, I really want to.
So, and it was nice. Frank was on the team, and a bunch of all the old school guys. Yeah. It's awesome.
I mean, so definitely. So that was, you were playing with Team USA, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And the best thing out of that whole event, so Todd Adamson, right?
Yep.
We make a break. I go to the corner. He comes up the middle, like on the Dorito side, and I'm super slow, right? And I come out of the corner, shoot down the line. Todd's literally walking around like they're D3, putting the barrel to the back of the guy. Hey, you're out. And the guy turns around and goes, yeah, I'm out.
Oh my God.
Literally walked around and he's like, hey, you're out, buddy. He didn't shoot him. It was so amazing.
I'm surprised that guy didn't turn.
Yeah.
I would have turned.
I was just thinking,
I would have been like, what, man?
The first thing that popped through my head is how many times you would have shot that dude, Waldo. That was the first thing that went through my head.
I'm turning all day.
Well, everything that went through our head was, wow, Todd didn't shoot that guy. We were surprised.
Yeah, 100%. Todd's
we figured he would have shot him in the neck.
Todd's got a nasty hip shot.
Yeah. Yeah, amazing.
So do you have any other associate with Team USA, or are you just like, dude, I love paintball and they're playing paintball, so I'm over there? Or do you have any like associate, like any like kind of behind the scenes thing with them?
No, so I mean, I was obviously I live out near Anthony, Boston Paintball. He was highly involved in the USA program, still is, and so I kind of got in through the loop there, and
right, you're just a killer that he wanted.
Yeah, I'm friends with I know all those guys and whatever, and kind of snuck my way in.
They're right, you've been around for a minute, so you know some people. So the only thing I'm actually really dying to know is you played the first ICC and then you played the second one. What would you think was a big difference? I mean, next year there went from 18 to whatever 50-something teams. What were some of the big differences you noticed? Other than the fact there being like 6,000 more people there.
Yeah, no, I mean, truthfully,
myself included.
The event went off just like the first event, really. Yeah. The only difference was we didn't have that great mounds field to play. We went. They plowed that in for the highway or whatever.
Right.
So the original Am Open Mounds field.
Cool. Actually, so that's awesome because I never got to play that. So how was that field like, dude? So, like, I didn't get to play it. How was that original Mounds field? How did it kind of play out?
Yeah, crazy, right? So they had there's a bunker that kind of goes at a 45-degree angle across the 50, and it literally goes from like the 30 to the 30.
Oh, okay.
There's a hyperball type buried under the middle. Maybe, I don't know, 24-inch diameter pipe that runs through the middle, and you technically can crawl through that. Tom Cole actually crawled through it one match at the ICC. I would never crawl through that, not a chance.
No.
But I would always go right up the middle and just sit on that, and then you just slowly work your way down, and now you're on there 30 basically. Yeah. But super, it was a slight angle, so there was a couple bunkers on the high side that you could just blind shoot a lot of people on the other side, but you're always going to have advantages and disadvantages,
especially on a mound.
That's woodsball, but that's mounds. That's classic.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's part of the game.
But it was a great field.
Oh yeah, no, it's because I didn't get a chance to play, so I was kind of curious. I was only at 2 and 3, so
the nice thing about the old field was that it's been there for 25, 30 years, whatever, right? So all overgrown, all the mounds were nice, full of grass, right? Everything else was cut between, right?
Yeah.
But then you go to the new mounds field the next year, and it was basically fresh dirt, which is what the original mounds fields 25, 30 years ago, that's what everybody played. It was a dirt mounds field, mounds field, and but over the time, right, they just all grew in. It just makes it a different playing.
Oh, it totally did. Yeah. Something I noticed from 2 to 3 was that, because like the first ICC 2, you were getting away with shit. You better play that bunker tight, bro, or you're getting clipped.
Yeah.
But the second there was all the shrubbery,
everything started growing. Yeah,
you could play it a little differently, for sure.
Yeah, now they've had a couple more, another year and a half to 2 years. So it'll be interesting to see what's how the mound field will come around. I haven't been out there yet this year, so.
Nah, me neither. I'm super pumped on. I can't wait to get out there.
And they turfed that hyperball.
Yep, they put turf. Yeah, they put turf down.
Video. Although you saved my hips a little bit. I appreciate that. Especially you. I'm sure you're the same way. Yep.
Oh yeah, yep. Hips, back, knees, everything. It starts. Check engine lights come on.
Yeah, the lights are going off. But going back to this event a little bit, I was talking to somebody else about this. I think this event has a chance to maybe be something like that, with the way those, we have iconic fields here. We're next to Ponderosa, this, that, Rabbit Run. A lot of these fields, World Cup was played here. I think this has potential to be something like an ICC, where like a one-time off event where people come from all around just to be a part of an event. Well, what are your thoughts on that? Do you agree? Do you think I'm stupid? I mean, I am stupid, but...
Yeah, I mean, those are two different questions, but... no, I mean, absolutely, right? And what it comes down to, and I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way, it's not even whether it's iconic fields or whatnot, right? It's how it's organized and run.
Kevin's doing a
right. If everybody, all the players here go home and they all say what a great time it was, reffing was fair, fields were well maintained, whatever, right? Well, all the positives, that only feeds into it, right? I mean, the first ICC event, Tim opened up the registration and he got 5 teams to pay. I want one of those kind of people who I believe in, like, I'm going to support him. Right. I was friends with Tim, right? And I'm like, I'll just pay my entrance right now. So I think I was the first or second team to pay the entrance. And for the longest time, he only had like 5, 6, 7 teams paid. And then he made some calls and he got it up to 18 teams. And he said, okay, that's what I want to be.
Yeah.
It's not like he started out at 72 teams, right? You got to start somewhere. So, what do we have today? 12 or 13 teams, right?
Yeah.
Good start.
Right.
Now it's a matter of putting out a good product, right? Having good reffing. They're hustling. They're doing their job.
Yeah.
Kevin's out here, obviously put a lot of work in the whole Master Blasters program, right? Put a whole lot of work into working on the fields, the area, everything, right? So they keep focusing on that.
Those woods, they cleared all the time. This was woods where we're sitting right now. It's wild the amount of work they've put in.
So I mean, if every year they strive to get a little better, there's no reason why next year we can't have 36 teams out here, or whatever the next number is.
Right, dude. We hope so, dude. I hope so.
Keep going up.
And just keep going up. Right, you said Tim kind of gave the blueprint, so hopefully they just keep it on. And I think they will, dude. I think we're gonna have Kevin talk a little bit about it. I mean, Kevin, like you said, Kevin eats, sleeps, and breathes this shit, dude. This is what it's about.
Yeah, he's been up here, how many weekends in a row?
I mean, we know,
working on all the fields.
We're
and
friendly with the Blasters. They've been up here the last 2 months in a row, every weekend, with bobcats, excavators, leaf blow, like everything, just making it work.
Yep, absolutely.
And I mean, you can tell.
And it shows. It absolutely shows.
It definitely shows. And so,
and there he is, Dilly Dilly Donuts.
Yeah, don't shoot me, I'm out. So, ICPL came back, and now that's just another step in this mechanical movement. I know Darkside is a big part of the pro franchise and being that. So, what was it like when you guys were approached to be one of our first pro teams to be involved in that?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's super honor, right?
Right.
There's in reality, not a large amount of teams that played 20 years ago, or 15, 18 years ago. So it's an honor to be thought of and brought back and let to be in the pro division. So super excited, and I'm pretty good friends with Tom Cole, and he's been doing a great job on that league.
Yeah, I love it.
So
I love it. I think I missed one Chicago, and then I played them all, and I love it, dude.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah, we're going to Maryland in 3 weeks or something like that. Yeah. So I got my camper. I bought a camper, so we bring that to all the events now.
Yeah.
So
sold the field, bought the camper.
Yep.
Now we're traveling around playing.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I was sick. We see you at P&L and stuff like that. It's sick because it's like a family atmosphere. You're out there barbecuing, grilling. It's always a good time.
Yeah, so we'll be at P&L July 10th and 11th. They got a 10-man event, so
great food. Great food.
He does. But another great. That's a local 10-man. He's got 2 nice fields.
Beautiful
I
fields.
keep kind of busting him to put in a Mounds field, but we'll get there.
Good.
We'll get there. He's thinking about it. He's just trying to get some rights on the land and whatever. But
there's some politics going on there. Yeah,
but hopefully he gets that squared away because he's got
great facility.
Anybody who owned a paintball field would kill to have that facility, right? He's got how many acres of flat grassland,
right?
Literally he can put he's got that nice hyperball field. He's got that blue hybrid field in.
Yep.
The blue barrel field. He's got plenty of room to put a Mounds field in. He could even put another.
Crazy.
That hybrid was crazy.
Whatever. I guess there were props.
Yeah, so it was from I think Ocean. It was from Ocean Spray Cranberries, which is maybe 15 miles from his field. It was like an old thing they had at the
breaking news on the podcast. That's crazy.
Yeah. So he got him as they were getting rid of props or whatever, and they put him on his field.
I mean, for listeners that have never been there, don't know P&L, I mean, I can't even describe in words what that field looks like. I mean, it kind of looked like someone pooped out Disneyland on the field, all these weird shaped bunkers and this, that. It's very cool.
But I mean, to me, the thing that because I'm a little older and slower, and I got to watch my step. Nice, perfect flat grass.
Flat, everything there.
You know what I mean? You didn't worry about anything.
The opposite of this. We're in a mountain range.
This is woods, right?
This is woods.
But this was hyperball, that hybrid field, right? But it was all perfect, flat grass. It's awesome to play on. It's soft on the body.
Yeah.
So.
No, dude,
which at my age I need. So.
That's awesome. And so, building your roster, going even you could. I guess I don't know if you have the same roster for ICC and that. Rank should show us its butt. It's all cool. Building that roster, how was that? Because obviously people you played with back then aren't playing anymore. So trying to put together your roster, how was that? Trying to build a mix of youth, or you got to get guys down the snake, but you want to play with your friends. How was that trying to balance?
Yeah. So my goal playing 10-man, and I mean some of my guys might be watching, right? But it's everybody wants to win.
Oh yeah.
Right. But my goal is to be competitive and have fun. Right. So if I come in, if I'm here and I'm competitive. And we have a great time, and I'm with friends that I like, and we whatever, right? That's a win. Check the box. We're doing good, right? We're on a one-way trip here on life, and so let's enjoy the days that we have.
Absolutely.
Right. So I don't necessarily want to pick up, a bunch of head cases just to try to win an event.
At a point, yeah.
I'd rather be competitive, maybe lose, but competitive, and have a good time. And so that's how I've built my roster, right? I have people. I'm 50. I'll be 57 next month. I'm not the oldest guy on the roster. Kevin Weeks is 64. Rob Lazat is Rob Lazat is he might be a year or two younger than me. Rob Darcy's in his 40s, right? I mean, we have fairly aged crowd, and then we have Kevin's son plays with us. My son usually plays with us. And a bunch of others, that have came up playing up at my field. We've kind of brought them into the mix now. So we have a good mix of, old experience, couple fast rockets. But usually on the 10-man, you need a couple rockets.
Right.
But it's usually a thinking game.
Yeah, it's one up here.
Yeah. So, I'm never going to take the 50 off the break, so we got to send one of the little kids up there.
Yeah, Henry, get up there.
Yeah.
Or Steven.
Yeah, or Steve,
Steven.
Right, get up there. Get up there. So I guess going forward a little, do Darkside as a team, Is Eddie going to carry the name going forward for at least 10-man? Like, what does Darkside have a big future, or
Dude, he'll be around for a while. And he's
I'm not trying to put it in like milk, but
yeah, I mean,
does the team kind of live and die with you because you eat and sleep and breathe it? But I feel like your son's kind of the same way.
Yeah, no. So I'll say that all teams live and die by one person. In reality, right?
Right.
It's the guy who's going to do all the work to organize it. He's going to pay the entrance. He's going to collect the money. He's going to make sure you have rides. Everybody has a hotel room or whatever has to happen, right? And if you don't have that one guy, you could have 50 players standing over in the corner, and they'd all be standing in the corner.
Standing in the corner.
Right. It's the organizer, and unfortunately, right, when that one guy goes, typically teams fall apart. Somebody might try to pick it up for a little while.
Right.
But they realize that that's a lot of work.
It's a ton of work.
It's a full-time job.
Yeah.
Dude, that's why I
managing
call
a
him,
bunch
like,
of these
Steve
guys.
Casano runs it for us. I don't know how well you know him, but I call him my handler.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, ask Steve, if we're not playing the event, I can play with you guys. If not, I'm playing with him, and he's probably already booked the hotels and paid the entry.
Yep, exactly. And so I think in the reality is, I mean, I have no intention of going anywhere. I'll play until I'm dead.
Hell yeah.
Right. And so at this point,
I mean, Kevin still plays, so I mean, you can't have him smack talking you.
Exactly. Right. So I mean, we'll play for a lot of years to come.
Dude, awesome. And it's great seeing you out here, man.
Yeah.
Like the youth, I love this whole 10-man stuff. I really do, man. It's so cool as a young player, and I say this all the time, so I know listeners are starting to hear it. But like, bro, if I were just gonna go through the X-Ball route, you think I could get matched up with Henry Sense ever? No, I gotta go all through. I get 10 years.
It's a challenge to get there. Yep.
Years of grinding. Dude, my first year playing ICC, I got matched up against Dynasty. I got to play Ryan Greenspan.
Yep.
Smoked you.
She smoked me, but
It was
how many
good.
people could say that? It was the greatest experience of my life, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I started playing in 2015 and 2019, 2018 or something. I got to play against Blake Yarber. Like, that was the dude I was mirrored against.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy, dude. What?
Yeah.
What?
Absolutely.
So I love this shit, man. I love it, dude. I think everyone should play it.
Oh, 100%. And this is what paintball, was meant to be. The X-Ball is more, and I don't want to make it, good or bad, right? But it was more like the organized sport of the world, right?
Right.
Or of this sport. This is more the historic,
Right.
It's like grassroots.
intention, of how it really was or
Here's
is.
the way I like to think. I think X-Ball is good if you're trying to film the sport. You can't film this, but you can, like, how are you going to capture all the cool shit happening with?
Well, if you ask Kevin, this is how you film it. They cut the trees up into a certain height, and then they can do it.
Yeah.
That's what he was saying.
It's tough. It's tough.
It's impossible, right? Especially when you look at a field like Ponderosa, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what would you need? 100 cameras out there?
Right. So that's what I think is the main difference. Is you could say the more organized sport, but honestly, I think this is just as much of a sport. I just think that X-Ball format's easier to film, so it's easier to push out to the masses.
It's the more commercialized version, right?
Right.
This is, to me, this is more the grassroots and the history
of the sport.
Honestly,
Honestly, if you ask me, this is paintball, dude. Like, again, with the band right across from us, dude, Bud Orr, Dan Colby, like, bro, these guys are the sport, man.
Legends, absolute legends.
Well, legends and quite frankly,
Artifacts.
Inventors of half the stuff that we grew up on.
use.
Maybe
Right?
more than half of the stuff we grew
I was
up on.
talking to a guy the other day. He was like, "Yeah, I invented the hopper." I was like,
What? I've only known paintball with a hopper. You guys did not used to use one?
"Hey, they were using."
You used to have a
pipes.
10-round tube, and you just stick a 10-round tube on your gun.
Yeah. On your Bushmaster or whatever it was back
Not
then.
even now. It's like a fucking Zodiac. Or
Yeah.
Zodiac, fucking
Even
what is it?
Zodiac is pretty new. The Zodiac's
No,
got
I'm not
batteries.
talking Zodiac. I'm talking. I lost my train of thought. What did Kevin and them used to shoot?
Oh
the
my.
Splatmasters or Neil Spots.
Maybe it was the
Gray
Gray Spot.
Ghost.
He's gonna kick my ass when he realizes I forgot
Gray
this.
Ghost.
Yeah.
The Gray Ghost. Whatever.
Oh,
Anyway.
I forgot.
But yeah, it's I mean, obviously the sport has come a long way.
Long way.
And now, it's kind of funny, right? So we grew up playing this mechanical guns. You slowly got into the electronic guns. Then you got into a huge arms race, right? And you have all the high end, like
How
the
fast can
CS2s,
the gun
the Luxes, the Field 1s, all those guns, right? And you're shooting, theoretically could shoot millions of balls a second, right? Or 25 balls a second if they really wanted to. And now what we're doing is saying, hold on,
Slow it down a little.
let's go back to where smarts and strategy was more important than shooting 20 balls a second at this lane,
right?
And keeping the guy in, right?
Right,
So
that's what
we've all come back that way now,
right?
And now what you're going to see over the next couple of years, and you've already started to see this, is that now people who weren't necessarily around during the original 10-man,
you're literally talking about
right? They're going to now try to figure out how to push the limits of this environment, and you're going to get,
those triggers,
and
the
I'm
hair
not,
valves, all that stuff.
Look, I'm a big Planet fan, right?
Yeah.
They got the M170R, great gun. Now you put the hair trigger in it. There was a guy at ICPL in Florida, the Sunshine, whatever. I don't remember if it was this year or last year. He was in the Snake and literally had to have been shooting 20 balls a second. And every game he played, they would go in and check his gun.
Yeah.
One game after, I think like his second or third gun, they took the handle apart to make sure it wasn't an electronic gun.
They had a chronograph set up at the Shocker tent, and the dude behind us from the Saber Wolves, they had him clocked at like 14.3 or something.
Yep.
I'm like, what?
So at some point, I think what you're going to see is that, it's either going to start to swing back again where it's, not electronic, but, literally, I mean, you talk to Simon Stevens, right? He's like, I can make a gun shoot really fast, but I don't want to.
Right, if I wanted to.
But
smart.
But, if everybody else is doing it, eventually he's going to have to do it too, right, to sell product.
Right.
Or they're going to have to start setting more rules in place to keep it more traditional.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see how that goes over the next couple of years.
Right, it is very interesting because I've heard a lot of different things kind of thrown out, like, limit the rate of feed and this, that. It's kind of getting interesting to see how, like, the promoters, or I guess whoever makes the rules, combat this arms race, if that's what you want to call it, kind of thing going on here, and what the kind of back and forth is going to be. I'm very interested to see how that plays out.
So, yeah, it'll be... we'll see how it works out, right? I mean, I have no idea what the future holds.
Right,
but
we're soldiers.
Either way, I'm going to play.
Just tell me what the rules are so I'll make sure I'm doing the right thing. Like, I don't really care what they are.
Yep.
Tuck my jersey, don't tuck my jersey, whatever. Battery in my loader, no battery in my loader, like whatever.
Yep, exactly.
Just tell me and I'll play. Dude, that's sick. Awesome. Dude, so how do you think you guys are going to do with this event? I got to ask, man. I mean, are you guys confident in your abilities?
Yeah, I mean, we don't show up to lose, right?
Damn right.
Again, my goal is to be competitive, and right now we got 2 draws, which nobody wants, right? But at the end of the day, those are two competitive wins, or 2 competitive matches, and we're just going to keep going and getting better.
No,
right?
I said this before, dude. I think if you can get a max on this field, you might win the whole damn thing.
Exactly.
To be honest.
Right.
Yeah.
If we come out of this, in good shape, point-wise, if we come out of today and then we move over to, what's the other field? Hudson, right? I haven't been over there yet, but
flatter.
I've been told it's more of a standard, field, right? And so maybe we get a couple W's over there, and that's really what it's going to take to move on.
Right.
And so that's all we can go. And I know we'll be competitive. I know we'll have good matches. Are they all going to go our way? Yeah, we'll see.
Right?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Right, you hope so, right? That's why you touched the box?
Exactly.
Cool, Dave. And before we get you out here and I get you back to your team and get ready for your next game, who sponsors Darkside? Who helps you guys stay on the field?
Jay Painter does.
Yeah, so right now, so I'm pretty much out of the business, right? So,
right.
I had a big relationship with GI, big relationship with Planet, and they still support us, right? So I would say there's no, true sponsorship, but Danny Love at Shock Tech hooked us up with great cockers. So we have custom team cockers, with our team etched in them and everything. Super nice, a smooth shooting gun. Planet's helping us out with the M170Rs.
Right.
And GI when they can, when events allow it, help us out with paint and whatnot.
Right.
And that's Sandana.
Shout out Mark.
So.
Mark Henry,
shout out.
Yep.
Awesome. And then one more thing I would love to get before we get you out of here is, dude, what's your favorite story? You got a ton. I know if we asked you for a couple, we might be here for hours.
Yeah.
But what's a story that you kind of like to tell, or your however you want to classify, but one of your better or more favorite stories?
Yeah. So it's funny. I got 2.
Awesome. We got time. I ain't got nothing but time.
I got 2.
I want to make sure you got time to play your game.
No, we're good with that. I got 12 guys. It's okay. So 2. One happened at ICC. Mm-hmm. We're playing the All-Americans. I'm crawling down that long, we're on the mounds field. I'm crawling down that long mounds in the middle. I pop out at the end. Sam Montville's in the next mound, in front of that.
He's not bad, decent player.
He's one of the last guys alive. But there's no There's no refs in the middle of the field, right?
Oh God.
So I come around the
go.
corner. He clearly shoots me, and afterwards I clearly shoot him, but clearly after.
Right.
And the ref comes running around, and goes, "You're both out." And we both walk off the field, and we're laughing about it, right?
Yeah.
And he thinks it's great, right? And whether I cheated him or not, we were going to win because I think he was the last guy alive, and we had like 5 or 6 guys alive.
Right.
And for the next like 2 years, every time I ran into Sam, and I ran into him at every NXL, every time I ran into Tim, because Tim was, running the event, and he was like the head ref on that field, or the ultimate, or whatever you want to call it, right? So he saw the whole thing go down. We would just laugh about it every time we saw it. Like Sam and I think it's the greatest thing that happened, and we would just enjoy that moment, right?
Yeah.
That's painful.
That's painful. Those are the moments. It's like,
And then the other story happened just a couple month and a half ago down at Tiki's in I don't know, somewhere in Florida, right? And we're in playoffs. We're playing against Northwest Rogue, I think. They have one guy left in the corner. I'm on that side of the field at like the 50. My son's on the other side of the field at the 50, and it's just the two of us. Right. And then like we're figuring out what's going on, and Eddie yells over, "Dad, they're right in front of you! Dad, they're right in front of you!" And so those are the things you play for.
Right, dude. Like I play with my brother a lot, and we have that kind of situation. And my government is danger. When I'm like, Dill, he's right. I'm like, Dill, danger, danger! You're in danger, dude.
Yeah. So and luckily, one of us shot him, and we got the flag and pole and hang. So worked out good. But it's just and then you could hear the fans talking about it, and then one of the guys was filming it later. And goes, "Oh, we got a father-son team out here."
That's got to be a great thing.
Which is awesome.
Playing with your son, dude. I mean,
and pulling it off with your son.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Your son too. Words, like, can you even put that in words?
No, it's. So again, you asked me like, what are great memories? Those are the great memories.
Yeah. Dude, for sure, dude. Like, I'll never forget, like, the amateur, we took second place at ICPL when it was in Florida one of the times, dude, and I played with my brother, dude, and I'll remember that's the, like, we would like to have won. I guess it could have been a little bit better, but not much.
Right.
Only one spot. Dude,
yeah, exactly.
My brother, my home dude, the dude I've been playing, dude who got me into the sport, like, dude, come play this big game. I think you'll have fun. 6 years later, like, we're on the tournament scene.
There you go.
Fucking awesome.
Excellent.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And one more thing before we get out. I'm sorry, I keep saying one more thing.
You're fine.
Because you got so much advice, I want to end. If you could give one piece of advice for a new bowler out there who's taking the field, what would that be, man?
So it's quite frankly, don't take it too seriously, right? You got to have fun. You got to enjoy what you're doing. If you take it too seriously, you're gonna play the fun right out of it, right? And then if it's no longer fun, then showing up on Saturday and Sunday to practice sucks.
It sucks, right?
Right, like
a job.
It becomes a job, right? And they call them jobs for fun. They for a reason. They don't call them fun. They call them jobs, right?
I got a job to pay the bills. Dude.
I want to do this for fun, right? So you need to come with the right mental attitude. That's not to say you don't work hard. That's not to say you don't want to be competitive. You don't want to win, right? All those things apply.
Right.
But you got to realize that inside the net is different than outside the net, right? Inside the net, everybody's my enemy on the other side of the field, straight up, right?
No, straight up, yeah.
Stab you in the eye, don't care, right?
Pounds inside the net, it's like we had never been friends,
right? But outside the net, hugs and kisses for everybody. I mean, we're friends, right? And we'll have fun. People can come over, have chicken, burgers, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
We'll have a great time. But inside net, different story.
Right, exactly, dude. That's great. That's great, dude. So again, Dave Painter, Darkside, so many teams I can't even get into. A legendary man in the game. Thank you for spending so much time with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Dude, thanks, man.
All right.
Awesome, dude. That was great. Dave, thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate it.
All right, man.
So bad.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon.